Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
Angela Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet, and we'd like to welcome you to today's show. We're so multifaceted. You see us work with angels, interstellar beings. So, John is here to give us more about today's show.
Absolutely. And today, not only do we have the Galactics back with us again, but of course, we have a very different kind of consciousness who's been around for many tens of thousands of years, which is, of course, Thoth. Thoth the Atlantean, as he's known certainly within the Sarah Breskman Cosme book, but also he was obviously very well known around the ancient Egypt time. So today I have my Ankh, which symbolizes aspects of life, physical life, eternal life, immortality, death, and reincarnation, all here within the hieroglyphs. So we're starting with Thoth. And the most interesting thing about Thoth, of course, is that he was the architect of the Earth Ascension plan. A big part of his role apparently is that he helps people with ascension back to source, if you like. So, I've heard a lot about him over the last year or so, certainly because the work of Drunvalo Melchizedek, a lot of his training was with Thoth, who would come through on a regular basis over a number of years and would always help him. Anyway, he's out there for us now as well. The other thing to mention is we have the WhatsApp group now finally up and running. So it's still in its infancy, still got to be sort of polished up a bit, and we're going to have to do some additional subdivision of groups. But this is going to be exciting because we've got a few things. I've got a few things written down here. It's basically, it's for a gathering of tribes. So what we're trying to do is overcome the fragmentation that everybody has as individuated pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. We come together because we know how powerful collective consciousness is. So the more people get together on the WhatsApp group, the more we can share information. There's going to be a section where obviously we can do the releases for like videos. And we're also collaborating with Stephen of Twisted Reality as well. So his tribe will be coming along to this one as well. And that's what it's all about. It's about pulling everybody together. And we're going to have things like a daily dose where Jolie will post affirmations, daily affirmations, and things like that, whatever the inspiration of the day is. It's a forum where people can post things that they come across that they really like and believe that others in this community would enjoy as well. So I'm excited that we've got that up and running as well. Really, I suppose at this point, Jolie, what would you care to add before we leap in?
I'm very excited to look into the research, dig deeper into Thoth, and what that is, because as we spoke about, or in this show, we're about to talk about the composite energy of the archangels and how part of that is the remembering. And don't think that you're restricted from accessing this energy in a way that accesses light, right? We're all so scared of like these energies because of what's been taught, but what it has, that's the veil.
Hmm.
So it's like, let's really open up and look at, what this energy has to offer and allow it in.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the first of several sections I think we will do on Thoth over subsequent weeks as well, because there's a lot of information to share. And the fact that he is the architect of this entire thing kind of tells you this is a really great place to be getting the word from. And just before we sort of hit the button as well, just to explain that this again is part of Sarah Breskman Cosme's book. And this is where we see our world of unspeakable beauty. So I'm excited about that. But just also to explain, this goes through this quantum healing hypnosis technique that was Dolores Cannon who created that in the first instance. And Sarah was the one who has picked up on that. And obviously, Dolores is now on the other side of the veil, making sure she gets the right clients at the right time with the right messages. So it's amazing how these books, actually, as Sarah herself would tell you, write themselves.
Mm.
She's just writing down verbatim what comes through. One of her clients is a lady by the name of Yana, who is the one through whom Thoth actually appears. So just to mention that, because that will be part of where this begins. Well, that'll kind of make more sense as this comes through. So, what do you reckon, Jolie? Should we hit the
Yes,
button? Right.
absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Bear with me.
Tell me what you see. Thoth is here. The being known as Thoth, or Three, has come through multiple sessions, as documented in my other books. What does he want to say? I want your readers to know that I am here for anyone who calls upon me. My purpose is to bring enlightenment to the earth. My role is to help humans ascend, and I do everything within my power to facilitate that expansion. I hold a deep love for humanity. This is part of a much grander design. Earth is one of the planets under my jurisdiction. All planets and beings must, at some stage, undergo this process of awakening. Earth is a place specifically designed to support this ascension program, a passageway through which souls evolve. I have helped create an environment where human beings can remember their divine connection. Everyone who interacts with Earth, especially those who choose to incarnate, is involved in the ascension process in some capacity. Whether they are here for their own ascension, assisting others, holding the negativity as a necessary counterbalance, or simply learning about the mechanics of ascension to later serve as guides, every soul plays a role. Why Earth in particular? Earth is a very protected and heavily guarded planet, providing the perfect conditions for this ascension game. It is also a planet of free will, which allows the program to unfold in the way it needs to. Is this ascension program just a game, or does it serve a greater purpose? It is for those souls who seek to merge back with God, to return to unity. This is a journey for souls at that phase of their evolution. What happens when you merge back with God? When a soul merges back with God, its consciousness as an individual ceases to exist. All that the soul has experienced is integrated back into the all-encompassing source. Every soul has its timeline, a birth, a life, and a return to source, just as every physical human does. Have you, Thoth, completed the ascension process? I have not fully ascended. I have chosen to remain until the end of this experiment. As the creator of the ascension program, I feel a responsibility to guide others. If I were to merge with the all, I would lose the will to assist in the ascension of others. I draw my strength from Source, and in turn from those souls who are nearing their own merging. I am an aspect, a program of consciousness, designed to specifically facilitate the merging of the individual with the One. Did you build the Great Pyramid? In a sense, yes. I envisioned what was needed for Earth and sent out a call to the necessary beings. Many contributed to the construction, but I set the plan in motion. Who did you work with? I worked with higher dimensional beings, primarily archangels. They come from every corner of the universe to assist with this ascension. So, beings from higher dimensions help humans in this process? Yes. Every soul will eventually return to Source, but some, like the archangels, follow a different path. Some choose to incarnate as humans, experiencing the game of forgetting their true nature to remember it once again. How does an archangel incarnate as a human? Due to the vastness of their energy field, an archangel may incarnate in multiple bodies at once. This is how higher consciousness manifests in human form. For example, the Christ consciousness has incarnated across many generations. The purpose of this was to trigger a collective shift in humanity's awareness. Is it working? It was always designed to work. The shift has already begun. I, too, am incarnated again, triggering another widespread shift in consciousness. The Earth's frequency, what you call the Schumann resonance, reflects these changes. Every being on Earth at this time has chosen to be here, consciously or unconsciously, to accelerate their remembering. Is it true that all one must do is to remember that it's a game? Yes. The game is designed to make you forget that you are God. so you can remember it again. Once you step into that consciousness, you transcend the game.
So, Thoth is here for anyone who calls upon him. So that is worth bearing in mind for your meditations, and I'm thinking that much like with the Christ energy that was tapped into during our Christmas show, Thoth can answer everything at once regardless of how many call upon him. And Thoth is the mastermind behind the ascension process we are currently experiencing, so what better consciousness to have addressing us? Earth is a passageway through which souls evolve, so it doesn't get more exciting than this. And I'm guessing a large proportion of those who see this show have remembered their divine connection, and we are all involved in this ascension process. And I totally get that the planet is protected against outside malevolent forces, so we can get on with the game. Yep, it's all a game. So, that being the case, we might as well have fun with it, particularly since fun is an elevating frequency and tends to ripple outwards. As the Buddha himself said, happiness never decreases by being shared. So here we are, returning to heart-based unity consciousness, realizing that everything is connected. Therefore, to harm another is to harm oneself. As for archangels, last week we learned that archangels are a composite being, an amalgamation of highly evolved souls brought together in the service of divine will. So when you think of the vastness of that energy field, it is easy to see how they can splinter into a large number of incarnations to assist with ascension. Except, of course, that they go through the same veil of forgetfulness that we all have to in this game/experiment here on Earth. And the same with the Christ consciousness too, except, of course, this time around we have all been imbued with Christ consciousness. And if we choose to activate it, and it is a choice, then we form part of what would be referred to as the second coming. So now we realize we are individuated aspects of God. We can help others who find themselves ready to transcend too. How amazing is that? Anyway, back to those pyramids.
Does the Great Pyramid help in this process? Absolutely. The pyramids are antennae, communication portals. They allow high-frequency energy to merge with the Earth plane. These vortex points were established to anchor divine energy, compressing it into this dimension. They are mathematical coordinates, designed to last. However, to utilize their frequencies, specific beings with the right knowledge and attunement are required. They are reincarnated high priests and priestesses, chosen for their ability to receive and translate these frequencies. They were stewards of this knowledge, passing it down through generations. Even now there are beings within the earth who anchor this energy. Where are the priests and priestesses now? They still exist, continuing their work in secret. Their identities remain hidden, but they are human. Some were even mentioned in biblical texts. Figures like Abraham were students of this wisdom. Who taught them in ancient times? I did, either directly or through teachers who were able to channel my consciousness. Yana, for example, is a part of the group consciousness that has incarnated across multiple bodies. Her role is to translate higher frequencies into this plane. How can Yana activate her DNA? Her DNA is already being activated because it is time. Every soul has a preordained moment for their own activation and consciousness to unfold. Can you tell me more about the 13 tribes of Israel? I've always wanted to know about them. These tribes are descendants of the original priestesses of Atlantis. Each tribe carries a piece of the wisdom necessary for ascension. Once all the pieces are remembered, collective ascension will be triggered. Do extraterrestrials play a role? Yes. Many extraterrestrial races have been called upon to assist in this process. They help humanity remember. Why did Hitler target the Jews? I've always wondered if there was anything else you could tell me about this. The Jewish people carry one of the original seeds of ascension, a blueprint from Atlantis. Hitler's actions were driven by unconscious forces that sought to suppress this wisdom. Are we heading toward extinction? No, quite the opposite. Humanity is moving toward enlightenment, a higher octave of consciousness. However, those who refuse this shift will remain on a lower timeline and eventually become extinct. So there really are two paths, one toward extinction and one toward ascension? Yes, that is correct. But for those who anchored in the higher timeline, like Yana, the focus is on ascension. Any final message? Trust the wisdom within. Focus on your own ascension. Release the programs of forgetting. It is time to wake up. Let go of fear. Trust the process and remember, you are being upgraded.
So, we are being upgraded, and there will be a deeper explanation of this very point coming up from our Galactic Federation chums, and they just represent a small part of the high-frequency beings who are here to assist humanity in awakening from the misaligned programming that we have unknowingly been indoctrinated into. As Thoth said, specific beings of the right knowledge and attunement are required, and there are beings within the earth that anchor this energy. So, we as surface dwellers often don't realize that the inner earth is a busy place, with both low and high frequency civilizations represented. There are humanity's puppet master reptilians in the tunnels and underground cities where much of the people trafficking has taken place, and thankfully that is a density that is about to be totally cleaned up. But also there are advanced civilizations, some who went subterranean at the time of the fall of Atlantis. They are very aware of the surface dwellers, and they will return at the time of the new Earth to help create our new high-frequency environment, but they won't get involved in the density ahead of that. As with the galactics on this free will planet, it is up to us to choose our path first. It's interesting that Thoth was around in ancient times to teach his wisdom, all the way up to, in recent times, Drunvalo Melchizedek, who did a lot of work with many indigenous tribes around the world to repair the Earth's unity consciousness grid and to help clear the path for Earth's Kundalini energy to move from the Himalayas to its new home in the Andes, from where many of humanity's future spiritual teachers will hail. And every soul has a preordained date for their enhanced DNA activation, up from 2 strands back to 12. You may want to count how many you've got, just to see if you've reached the front of the line yet. Jolie, what would you care to add?
It's really, to me, a beautiful thing when energies say, remember who you are, let go of all of the forgetting of your greatness, and the fact that these composite energies and actually the divine energy dwells in you. I know sometimes it may be difficult because we live in such a dense environment to see ourselves as being creators and makers of our own material world, but we indeed are. And it's important, or we benefit by taking time out of our day, maybe 20 minutes, to connect with that, connect with the magic that we are. How do we do that? By starting to create from the present moment a sense of freedom, whatever that feels like. Get into the feelings of divinity, of freedom, and from there begin to create. And you'll notice in my meditations, I put together what's known as a soul architecture. It's yours. You are now the architect. So when you put yourself back together energetically, now you are in a building, so to speak, to begin to make that magic and remember. So what do, right? Put your feet flat on the ground, go in nature, receive those messages, listen to the wind, listen to your own instincts, allow for your heart to guide you in the sense of resonating. Does this resonate with me or not? Recognizing the difference between butterflies and calm and peace and bliss when you're working with relationships, really trying to get into a state of alignment, not only with the divine, but with your purpose, and being okay with that. But in all honesty, it takes really knowing that you are capable in the first place and beginning to practice that, and then utilizing those tools, calling in that composite energy of the archangels to help you create.
Okay, thanks, Jolie. That was wonderful. Okay, so as promised, it is time to visit our galactic chums for an amazing message.